My bad, I was on mute. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Late Show with CEO. Today is a little bit early, but I got something special for y'all today. I'm gonna start today's show off with some good news. Uh, pres- president is president is on one. President is on one. But today I'm gonna start with the what's the guy name? The pilot that was rescued by the U.S. Special Forces. Let's get that up here. Let's start it up. So this is a YouTube creator that I follow. His name is Afterburner, and he's going to break down the entire rescue operation of the F-15 weapon specialist that's in the back. The F-15 Strike Eagle is a two-seater aircraft. You have the pilot, and then you have your weapon specialist in the back. The pilot was rescued a few days ago, and now the second pilot has been rescued. He gives a really cool breakdown. So let's watch this and see how he breaks it down, because he knows all the technical information.
We got him on April 5th, 2026, day 37 of Operation Epic Fury. U.S. Special Forces rescued the second crew member of the F-15E fighter jet that was shot down over Iran. Saturday's operation was conducted by a specialized commando unit with a high volume of air cover. The U.S. forces unleashed a hail of heavy fire, and that all of the forces are now out of Iran. This wasn't just some easy pickup, though. This happened right in the heart of the incredibly rugged Zagros Mountains in southwestern Iran. In the Chamahar and Bakhtari province near Dishat, we're talking steep, jagged ridgelines topping over 7,000 feet deep.
Yeah, that's some rugged terrain. I mean, being able to pull an extraction mission in that type of terrain is highly impressive, especially in a foreign nation. Wow. Yeah, that's some, hey, shout out to our boys.
Rocky valleys, loose shale slopes, and unforgiving high-altitude terrain that's perfect for hiding, but absolutely hell for moving fast, especially when you're injured and being hunted by the IRGC. This video will recount the actual rescue operation of the F-15E Wizzo, and President Trump posted this. He said, "We got him. My fellow Americans, over the past several hours, the United States military pulled off one of the most daring search and rescue operations in U.S. history for one of our
Trump been getting into some heat with his truth post. We'll get into that a little later in the show.
Incredible crew member officers, who also happens to be a highly respected colonel, and who I am thrilled to let you know is now safe and sound. This brave warrior was behind enemy lines in treacherous mountains of Iran, being hunted down by our enemies, who were getting closer and closer by the hour. But he was never truly alone, because of his commander-in-chief, secretary of war, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and fellow warfighters were monitoring his location 24 hours a day and diligently planning for his rescue. But the IRGC wanted to get him first. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was searching the entire area, including using their elite units and local militias. They swarmed the Black Mountain area with everything they had.
This story sounds like something straight out of SOCOM, but this is real life.
Villagers were even offered big cash rewards by Tehran to join the hunt and turn in the American for a major propaganda win for Iran. But America answered the call with overwhelming force. Elite special operations teams, including Air Force Special Warfare Pararescue Men, the legendary PJs, so that others may live, is their motto, and Naval Special Warfare Development Group operators were on the ground as well. Integrated team of special operators making it happen. Likely Delta Force could have been involved, Army Rangers, Green Berets, and then backed by the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, also known as the Night Stalkers. They fly.
I think the Delta Force is the our Navy SEALs. Yeah, I think the Delta Force is our Navy SEALs. I'm gonna look into that.
The MH6, the AH6 Little Birds for lightning fast insertions, fire support, HH-60W Jolly Green helicopters for heavy combat rescue airlift, and A-10 Thunderbolt 2s overhead for brutal close air support. And this video right here is said to be the actual final firefight. This is the final scene with likely A-10s rolling in, striking down some of these combatants that are trying to get to the F-15E Wizzo before U.S. forces. A massive firefight took place. MQ-9 Reaper drones were overhead. And speaking of MQ-9 Reapers, this report just came in. U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drones protected the rescued F-15E crew member by striking Iranian military-aged males believed to be a threat who got within 3 kilometers of the airmen. A person familiar with the operation told Air and Space Forces magazine this exact quote. MC-130J Commando 2 transports slipped into austere strips deep behind enemy lines, and likely even F-15E fighters going out to protect their member of their squadron, plus A-10s, F-35s, other birds up ahead providing air cover and jamming Iranian systems and signals and communications from Tehran to the IRGC. And President Trump also said this. He said, "We have rescued the seriously wounded and really brave F-15 crew member officer from deep inside the mountains of Iran. The Iranian military was looking hard in big numbers and getting close. He is a highly respected colonel. This type of raid is seldom attempted because of the danger to man and equipment. It just doesn't happen." The second raid came after the first one, where we rescued the pilot in broad daylight, also unusual, spending several hours over Iran. An amazing show of bravery and talent by all. This was one of the most daring search and rescue operations in U.S. history, and it reminds the world that the U.S. will never leave an American warfighter behind. No Americans were killed in the operation.
Is my camera lagging, y'all? Dang. What's up with StreamYard, bro? Yeah, my camera lagging. As long as the video playing smooth.
Wizzo injured but safe, and U.S. forces proved total dominance. Today, we're walking through every fact that we know and the full story of how this daring rescue operation culminated in the safe rescue of this weapons systems operator, but it did culminate in one of the biggest firefights during a rescue operation in U.S. history. And this going down is going to change everything that we've heard about U.S. special operations versus the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So it all started April 3rd, 2026, when that F-15E Strike Eagle was taken down by Iranian fire over the Zagros Mountains near Dishat. Wreckage photos surfaced fast as Iranian forces claimed the kill of the shootdown. Both the pilot and the highly respected colonel ejected safely, but they were separated on the ground. They ejected at altitude so the winds can change the trajectory of those parachutes. They could land a mile or two away. The pilot was rescued the next day in an initial CSAR push, but the HH-60W Jolly Green helicopters that got the pilot took incoming fire and were damaged severely.
Yo, this sounds straight like out of Black Hawk Down. So the first rescue attempt with the first pilot was the helicopter was shot at. People took damage. The vehicle took damage. Some people was injured, but they made it out of there and they made it back to base safely. And then there was one pilot left behind, and that's what the story is about. But they seem to went in there and got him too.
Even crew members on those helicopters were wounded, but they made it back to base safely. U.S. officials stayed quiet on the second rescue to protect the colonel while he was evading. Meanwhile, IRGC units behind the scenes and locals around the Black Mountain were actively hunting the colonel with bounties on his head of $60,000 US, turning the entire region into a high-stakes.
Dang, he had 60,000 US on his head in a foreign country. I don't think he knew that. I think his survival instincts just kicked in and his training kicked in, and it worked because he was able to get up out of there. So shout out to him. But 60,000 on your head in a foreign country, in the mountains, in the desert, it's wild.
Game of cat and mouse. U.S. intelligence, including CIA assets, kept constant eyes on the colonel weapons systems officer the whole time. But the colonel's solo survival story in those brutal mountains is even more incredible than what you can imagine. Right. Let's step into the colonel's boots. This part is pure inspiration, and it shows why SEER, Survival, Evasion, Resistance, Escape training, is worth every second and every penny that the US military spends on it. After ejecting, the colonel hits the rocky ground hard, sustains injuries, but instantly switches into full evasion mode. He moves away from the burning wreckage as quickly as possible, using the steep terrain to break line of sight with IRGC search parties. He climbs through those jagged 7,000-foot ridge lines under the cover of darkness, choosing rocky crevices and shale slopes that make tracking difficult for ground teams or dogs. He avoids open areas and villages as best he can, staying high where patrols are less likely to move fast and capture him. From his perspective, it probably went something like this. The cold mountain air cut deep, ankle or leg throbbing from the landing, but Seer kicks in immediately. Ditch the chute and anything that could reflect light or make noise, then start moving uphill away from the crash site. Slow, deliberate, using every shadow and ridge line to stay hidden. Find a good crevice, settle in, and activate the Combat Survivor Evader Locator Beacon. No long voice calls that enemies could triangulate, just short encrypted data bursts via satellite that frequency hop and look just like noise to the enemy. Send preloaded messages, injured but mobile, enemy active nearby, request extraction window ASAP.
Like that movie Behind Enemy Lines with that guy with the nose. What's his name? He was in Wedding Crashers. What's that guy? He was just in the Marvel Loki TV show. Yeah, just like that movie, man. Dang.
Combat Survival Radio, that's the silent lifeline. Boeing built an ejection proof. It keeps CENTCOM updated in real time without compromising the colonel's position. So here's what the colonel likely did. Rationed his water, ate some of the emergency food. Got to keep the energy levels high so you can stay mobile and keep moving fast to stay away from those IRGC patrols. But you also need to stay motionless for hours when you hear those IRGC vehicles or voices echoing up from the valleys below. Then relocate only when it's safe. Climb higher or shift to new cover to throw off the search. Bounty hunters, militias, IRGC special ops are out there trying to get you. Drones, possibly scanning ridges. But trust your training, the Seer, the deception operations that are going on.
It couldn't have been me, man. Couldn't have been me. I would have been dead, man, because I'd be winded on a hike. When I go hike little hills and whatnot, when I was in Atlanta, bro, like I could imagine how afraid this guy was. Well, obviously he had to lock in to make it out of there. I don't think I would have been able to do it.
Behind the scenes to feed the enemy information that you've already been extracted. Nearly 48 hours of pure discipline, minimal movement by day, careful navigation by night, conserving energy while your body fights the pain and the cold. But this colonel knew he was never truly alone. The president, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, secretary of war, and other war fighters from his unit and from Special Operations Forces are out there, ready to scoop him up when the time is right. As soon as the Wizzo confirmed that he was alive through the different techniques and tactics that you use for Seer, CENTCOM went into full go mode. Presidential Task Force spins up a massive joint special operations unit to go in and get the colonel. The prep was lightning fast, but razor sharp. Intelligence briefs on IRGC movements, rehearsals on similar mountainous terrain at forward bases, and contingency plans for everything from sand traps to heavy contact to IEDs, improvised explosive devices. On the ground, you had Air Force Special Warfare Pararescuemen, the PJs that live by the motto so that others may live. Teamed up with Navy SEALs, elite commandos from Delta Force, and all.
Oh, so it's Navy SEALs and then the Delta Forces commandos.
Also Green Berets. In the air, the 160th SOAR Night Stalkers brought the MH6s, those little birds. Also, you have HC-130J Combat King tankers for refueling and MC-130J Commando 2 transports that can land on rough strips deep in enemy territory and get everybody out. Reports are saying, and also this video right here from inside of Iran is a sighting of a C-295W from the secretive Air Force Special Operations Command's 427th Special Operations Squadron flying at low altitude over Iran during the operation. This is a rare glimpse of the highly specialized platform supporting deep penetration missions. And then overhead, A-10 fighters with their GAU-8 cannons, MQ-9 Reaper drones for eyes in the sky, plus surveillance and electronic warfare aircraft jamming Iranian radars and comms. This was years of training and investment coming together in real time. But none of that prep would have mattered without the intense close quarter battle that erupted once the teams hit the ground. Under the cover of darkness, late on April.
Somebody got to make a movie about this. They gonna make a movie about this. This gonna be the next Black Hawk Down movie. This. Yo, it sounds like a video game, but this is real life, bro. He moving around, being stealthy and unseen, trying to get to an extraction point and whatnot, sending signals in low frequency and all that. You know, and then it ended in a firefight at the end. Sound like a great movie.
4th, stretching into the early morning hours of April 5th, 2026, the rescue package went in deep, straight into contested territory south of Isfahan, near missile bases, nuclear sites, and Iranian assets. Night Stalker helicopters inserted the special operations ground teams near the Wizzo's hide site in the mountains around Dasht and Black Mountain. Reapers and strike aircraft provided overwatch while the team linked up with the colonel in his hiding spot, stabilized him right there, and started moving him out. But that's when Iranian forces, who had been hunting them relentlessly, closed in hard on the extraction site, triggering a massive firefight. U.S. Special Operations unleashed a high volume of heavy suppressive fire, fighting with everything they had so that others may live. Also, A-10C Thunderbolts up overhead rolled in with devastating close air support, while Little Birds added rockets and many gunfire. It was fierce and close quarters, and there's rumors of burned out Little Bird wrecks at the crash site, showing exactly how hot the engagement got in the Dasht area. This is one of the deepest penetrations into defended Iranian territory in modern times. Iranian forces actively trying to stop the rescue, but warriors from the USA held the line. They protected the colonel and kept the fight under control. But after that firefight, the exfiltration brought its own edge of your seat drama. The rescue force, now with the freed colonel, rendezvoused at the remote, austere Ford airfield and Ford arming refueling point just south of Isfahan. Multiple MC-130J Commando 2 transports landed inside enemy territory to pull everyone out. But 2 of the MC-130Js got bogged down in the soft sand, wheels sinking in with no safe way out. With Iranian forces closing.
Yo. Yo, the movie is writing itself. This is real life, bro. They had to land in enemy territory. Then they got stuck in the sand. But they made it out. They lost a couple of small little helicopters, them little buzzers from the GTA. They lost a couple of those. But this is like a movie, bro. And that pilot, he gonna be a national hero for sure. He's gonna get a parade. He's gonna get the medal. The team is gonna get a medal. I think you get a Purple Heart for saving a life. Yeah, I think you get a Purple Heart or a Medal of Honor or something like that. I think Purple Heart is saving a life. Yeah, gotta look that up too.
In, there was zero time to waste. U.S. Special Operations teams rigged demolition charges and destroyed the aircraft in place, setting them ablaze to deny Iran any technology, wreckage, or propaganda win. Thick black smoke rose from the hulks, and burned out Little Birds were also left at the site after their critical role in the fight. The call went out right away. 3 replacement aircraft came in, maybe those 295Ws, loaded the entire force, including the stabilized colonel, and exfiltrated everyone safely out of Iran and back to friendly airspace. Mission complete, no loose ends left behind, proving once again why America's military is the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. So,
yeah, shout out to our boys, man. Shout out to our boys. This pilot that we rescued, yeah, he's going to be a national hero. I wanted to start with the good news because I think we are 10 minutes away from Trump wreaking havoc on Iran. Let me find my drop for it. Here it is. Trump is saying A whole civilization will die if Iran don't surrender in 10 minutes. That's a big ask. You know, the Iranian nation is stubborn, but let's get into some early news coverage.
We are tracking breaking news right
Early news coverage from earlier today. This is ABC 7. ABC 7. This is the Bay Area. Let me get this up for y'all. We can see what's going on.
We are tracking breaking news right now on the war in Iran and that looming deadline. This morning, President Trump is ramping up threats to launch a massive attack if Tehran cannot forge a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz by 5 p.m. The president posting on social media minutes ago, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will," end quote. Iran's leaders responded to Trump's other threats overnight, saying if more attacks are carried out, the U.S. will be blocked from getting oil and gas for years. Iran's president says more than 14 million Iranians have declared their readiness to give their lives to defend the country. An Iranian minister has called for young people to form human chains around the country's power plants ahead of the deadline. Experts warn what Trump is threatening could be considered a war crime if civilian infrastructure.
Trump attacking the military, I'm not worried about. Look like my camera is frozen again. Trump attacking the military, I'm not worried about. I'm also worried about him attacking these power plants and other infrastructures with collateral damage. These human chains is what I'm concerned about and why I don't want him to do it. Right? But this nation has been threatening America for so long, and they've been enriching uranium, and we still yet to get the uranium out the country. I wouldn't, if Trump do this, he's going to justify every reason aside from the Epstein files why he shouldn't have been president. I mean, he did run on peace, and this is not looking at peace. If you bomb innocent people blocking their power plants, like you become evil in this moment, bro. You become evil in this moment. Um, I think collateral damage should be kept to a minimum. And I don't think innocent people should have to die for a terrorist regime.
Is hit.
Whether something is a crime or not a crime would have to be decided by a court. But any attack on civilian infrastructure is a violation of international law, and a very clear one.
President Trump has previously brushed off concerns about committing possible war crimes. Iran just yesterday rejecting a ceasefire proposal. The UN Security Council is set to vote on a resolution to unblock the strait this morning. We are tracking breaking news right now on the war in Iran and that.
That's another one. Nah, that one's done. And it's like with these war crimes, right? Like, I think he signed an executive order that no president can be charged with anything they did while they was in the presidency. So it's looking like you already protected yourself with executive orders and all that, so you won't be punished in this for any of this, right? And even if you can't be punished, the people, a majority of the country won't. Well, majority of the country don't like him anyway right now, but majority of the country would definitely like have regret voting for you if you go into this place and bomb these innocent peoples. I want to look at another video. I think this was Fox News. Yeah, this one is from Fox.
Period that's going to determine
let me get
the
that
future.
right. This one was from Fox early this morning. Let's review that. Let's get this up.
Let's bring in our former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor, KT McFarland. Good morning to you, KT.
Good morning. What an extraordinary day. And we are in for a 12-hour period that's going to determine the future of the Middle East and probably the world.
What was your reaction to that Truth Social? The whole civilization will die. He doesn't want it to happen, but it probably will.
Yeah, I think that what President Trump said yesterday when he said we're negotiating with new people, and then in the Truth Social post, which you've just read, he said we're negotiating with a new regime, a changed regime. That means that there are pretty active negotiations going on. And then the attack this morning, or just a few minutes ago, on Kharg Island. Kharg Island it does two things. It's in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz, and it has military facilities on the site, on the island. And it has where all the oil gets offloaded from Iran pipelines and then onto tankers. So what President Trump has just done is he's taken out the military capability, all the facilities, the naval facilities and others on Kharg Island. And all he has to do is turn the guns just a few miles and he could take out their entire oil export industry. And as you've just talked about, this is like 50% of their GNP. This is the IRGC's piggy bank. This is how they make the money. And so President Trump is saying to these new leaders that he's now negotiating with, see what I can do. And in 12 hours, if you don't agree to my demands, then we could blow up the whole thing. And that really will set Iran's economy back, its infrastructure back. It could be rebuilt, and it could be rebuilt with American help, but it will put Iran in just a devastating position. So this is going to be the most bare-knuckle 12 hours you have ever experienced.
So, KT, there are some that are still saying that questioning whether or not President Trump means what he says. And the escalation ladder that he has just put in that post is quite significant. What would you say to those that think maybe this is Trump bluffing?
You got to start paying attention. You know, I've been in the Situation Room with President Trump in the first term where he had to make really tough calls. And it was whether it was military calls or others. He made the tough calls. He understands the significance and the danger of it and the risk, but he's willing to take the tough call. Do not underestimate his ability. He is not bluffing. He has got in place all the military facilities he needs.
I hope he's bluffing. We are literally 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from breaking news, man. I hope he's bluffing. Oh, man, I hope he's bluffing. Like, oh, God. I don't even know what to say. Like, I hope he's bluffing. I hope he do not, like, taking out the military, okay. Going after the uranium, okay. But don't, like you said, this is what got me shaken up. He said he's going to send them back to the Stone Age. And he's targeting infrastructure, power plants, bridges. These are things he said. I heard him say it. I'm not guessing. He said he's going to target power plants, bridges. Hey, Red, what's up? It will be bad, man. It will be bad. It will be bad. Hey, what's up, Rose? Salute to you. I'm hoping this guy is bluffing, man. We got close to a minute 10 before we might have some breaking news. Chat, help me out. If we got breaking news, send me the link so I could cover that, because a civilization will die. You know, if he targets the infrastructure, that means these people will die slow. They will die from starvation. They will die because they can't probably cross to go get some water or groceries or whatnot. Like, you got to think about the innocent people, Trump. You know, you went hard for the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Prize, you lost it, but then the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize dedicated it to you. So it'll just look real bad that after you get a Nobel Peace Prize dedicated to you, that you go and bomb innocent people, man. Going after the military, yeah, go for it. But civilian infrastructure, bro, nah, bro, nah. I'm gonna look like a fool for speaking in your good graces for all the times I did, man. For real. You can't bomb these innocent people, bro. It will be no justification for bombing innocent people, taking out their military, taking out their leaders, taking out the people who said death to America. All fine and good, fair game. But innocent people, nah. There's no need to 9/11 those people. You feel me? There's no need for that. Just finished cooking. Okay. Let me see. This country better be ready. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you do that, oh man, it's 8 o'clock. Shit, it's 8 o'clock, y'all. Let me stop sharing this. It's 8 o'clock. I'll probably give it a couple minutes before they even like do something. But like, it's gonna be a bad look. How many people voted for him this year? 73 million people is gonna be looking dumb in the face if you go out there to the Middle East after you did the peace in the Middle East convention and go bomb these innocent people, bro. It just won't be a good look for America, right? And already you got the UN ready to push war crimes on you for sure. You have until the end of the month before you would have to declare war. You feel me? Don't go bomb these people's stuff, bro. Don't go bomb these people's stuff. Iran has Russia for sure, and possibly China on the side. Infrastructure can be rebuilt. I feel you on that, especially with China. You feel me? Especially with China. Why not? China is fast with it. I saw a video of a time lapse where China rebuilt a full metro station. You know, they got one of the most efficient metro stations in the world, right? Metro systems in the world, or was it Japan? But either way, they built it in 12 hours, around the clock, 12 hours, done, brand new, whole new station, 12 hours. It's crazy, bro. What's up, Cases and Cams? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I see it's 22 people watching. I hope I got 22 likes. That'd be nice. You know, you want to support the channel. I'm not monetized yet, but you could buy me a Red Bull. Cash App's at the top. You feel me? Yep. Yeah, Red. Nobel Peace Prize. Even after the games he played with Israel. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but aside from that, he was ending a bunch of wars all over the world at the same time. They didn't highlight that, but he was doing that. You know, he had the monks come out. Look at the people of Venice. What was it? Venezuela? Yeah, Venezuela. They was happy that he captured Maduro. I thought it was impressive that he brought Maduro back alive. You feel me? He went up in there, brought Maduro and his wife back alive with no casualties to the American side. You feel me? That's impressive. I'm not going to even hold you on that. Should say Red? Yep, they have a big backing. Yeah, I know. It's looking like the history books, right? When I was in school, Russia and China was the other superpowers. It was 3 superpowers. We had the United States, us, right? Russia and China. And you got 2 of those superpowers teaming up to go against us. Not to mention, China got that new 6th generation jet that they working on. We don't even got that, right? They showed some new missiles with their military parade, which is why Trump did his military parade. You know what I'm saying? I be paying attention. I don't know everything. I might not know the fancy words and all that to explain and the bills and all that, but I be watching. It's crazy. It's crazy. No Red Bulls. I love Red Bulls. I really been drinking Coke lately though, but I know that's bad for me too. But I keep saying Red Bull. I want that Red Bull sponsorship, man. I support Red Bull for the F1 racing. Red. I actually haven't been drinking. Let me stop. I haven't been drinking much of them, but if it's time, when it's time to work, I definitely get one. get me going and whatnot. Because I'm like a snowball. Once I get going, I just keep going until it's done. You feel me, bruh? I'm still waiting for who's ICJ to be arrested. Who's that? Oh, Ice to arrest Bad Bunny. Ice ain't gonna touch him. Ice ain't gonna touch him. History repeating itself. Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's like we read about this in high school, in junior high school, and then it's like we're living it, And then I remember when they was able to the Ayatollah, my mother was shocked. She was like, "Oh, they got him." She ain't hear about him since she was in high school. So it's like, yo, like what's going on? And how long they've been threatening America? For real. You feel me? It's wild, y'all. It's wild out here in these streets, man. For real. I thought he took Venezuela for the oil. Well, that's what they were saying, because they were saying Venezuela got the highest oil reserves. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be what they say, pip per quo. You know what I mean? We free y'all. And now he's talking about he should be the president of Venezuela. That'd be cool too. I mean, Trump as the president of Venezuela, he probably build up the coastline and whatnot, have all the hotels, make Venezuela a nice tourist attraction. That's really what he do. You feel me? But like, I don't know, bro. And I don't even know. This oil stuff is weird because all oil ain't the same. You know what I mean? All oil can't be used to just make gas. Some can just be used to make the plastics and the lubrications and stuff. It depends on like how it's all broken down and refined and whatnot. For real. Catnip. Oh, catnip. That's real. For real. I use Coca-Cola for toilet cleaner. Stay off it. All right, I got you. Pepsi or Fanta. Well, so what you saying? Pepsi or Fanta is better than the Coca-Cola? That's what you saying? Why not? Oh shoot! Let me hold on. Let me check what's going on. Oh yeah. Shout out to Smell of Roses. Yes. With the $5 Cash App. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Keep going is what she said. I'm gonna do my best. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Thank you for that. All right, y'all. I got a Red Bull today. Thank you. Smell of Roses. I appreciate that. A lot. International Court of Justice, war crimes. Oh, really? Oh, man, listen, that's a whole nother show, bro. That's a whole different show. With that. I don't even know how he's able to travel freely. Isn't the World Court not in New York, right? That's our UN building over here is not the World Court. Isn't that over there in Europe somewhere? I don't know. I need a government official. Yo, Rose, where's the World Court at? Right? Is it our UN building that we got in New York, or is it like somewhere in Switzerland somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Bapwork, what up? What up, bro? The Netherlands. It's up north. Welcome. Thanks for I got you. Rose. I got you. Yes, salute. But yeah, guys, I got another what was that? Which one was that I just watched? I got some more stories. Hold on. Let me see what I got on the docket for today. We're approaching 39 minutes. Remember, if we got breaking news, somebody put that in the chat. I need one of the mods to put that in the chat to see what happens if we started bombing Iran. So, guys, Offset was shot in Miami. I don't know what's up with the Migos, man. They always in some. We lost Takeoff, right? Just a couple of years ago, Offset was in tax trouble. Now Quavo in tax trouble. And as soon as that break news, Offset gets shot by TJ. What's up with that? Y'all can't fight no more? Y'all scared to lose fights? Back in the day, we used to scrap. We used to scrap just like Friday. You know what I mean? We fight, we lose, we live to fight another day. You don't back out a gun because you're losing a fight. This is crazy. But let's get into that story. Let's get into getting shot. Hold on, let me make sure everything's situated, everything kosher for the people. Make sure I got my screen shared and whatnot. So we got Offset, y'all. He out in these streets. You was driving to the to the old video and stuff. Yeah, like yeah. I feel you on that. But yeah, let's get into this Offset, y'all. Shot in Miami by the casino.
Breaking news out of
Florida. Let me not say Miami because I don't know where the casino was, but he was shot in Florida.
That rapper Offset has been shot. We have a post here coming from TMZ saying breaking Offset shot near Florida casino, and this happening just last night. We're bringing you out now to a live look over that casino, the Seminole Hard Rock Casino.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Smell the Roses came in clutch. Smell the Roses came in clutch. Trump agrees to suspend attacks. President Donald Trump said this evening, just hours ahead of his deadline, that he had agreed to suspend bombing and attacking Iran for a period of 2 weeks. Oh, he gave him a 2-week extension? Man, fuck it. We gotta take the small wins. That's a win. Hold on. Let me get the stuff ready, y'all. We going 2-week extension for Iran. Yeah, we're not supporting terrorism over here. Well, what it is we don't support the loss of innocent lives, even if it's coming from our commander-in-chief. So shout out to him for that. I knew he was going to do the right thing. That's my guy. So he was bluffing, but he had to play tough. He had to show the bravado. Oh man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy he's not going to bomb those people tonight. I'm so happy. ABC News. Hold on. Let me get that link, Rose. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get that link. Oh man, that's the link. Hold on. Let me see how I could do this. Let me do this over here. I'm gonna have to pull up YouTube. I'm gonna have to go to my own stream. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. I'm gonna have to, let me see. Let me type in my own name. Hold on. Yeah. Go to my own live. All right. Cool. I'm all right. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me stop sharing this. Let's go over here. Let's share this. Hold on. Let me do it again, guys. Rose came through clutch. And then I gotta do that right there. Add that to the stage. Here we go. What we got?
White House gave the president putting this on Truth Social and laying out a.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Tom Llamas.
And good evening. We are coming on the air with some breaking news.
Shout out to Smell the Roses. Please, if you're not already, please go to Mrs. Smell the Roses. Go join the Rose Garden. Become a Rosebud. Tell a Genius CEO sent you. Tell a friend and tell a friend. She just came through with the breaking news.
Just moments ago, the president of the United States announced a 2-week ceasefire with Iran. It comes just hours after the president had threatened, in his words, a whole civilization will die. The president was said to be considering striking so-called dual-use targets in Iran after an 8 p.m. deadline tonight. I want to get right to Gabe Gutierrez with the latest from the White House. Gabe, the president putting this on Truth Social and laying out a framework for a ceasefire deal.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Look, there have been a lot of fluid developments throughout this afternoon. And just a few minutes ago, as you said, the president posting that message on social media saying that he has agreed to a 2-week ceasefire subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. He says that he's agreeing to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for those 2 weeks. He calls it a double-sided ceasefire. However, we have not heard from the Iranian regime when it comes to this proposal, but also significantly, Tom, in that Truth Social post, the president said that the U.S. had received a 10-point plan from Iran. So again, a lot of unanswered questions here about how we move forward, but this all comes after a rapid fire series of developments throughout the day. I spoke with the president earlier today. He said that he couldn't talk about the negotiations. They have been ongoing really throughout the day. But that message is something that the entire world had been watching. It was just a little bit more than an hour until that 8 p.m. deadline. Earlier today, the Iranian government had asked people in Iran to.
Cases and Cam says he really had no choice. Yeah, man. I mean, I just felt in my heart he was going to do the right thing, but I ain't going to lie, y'all. I was nervous. I know President Trump. I know we like to claim he a monster and he a PDF and all that, but sometimes you just know this guy didn't want that blood on his hands, man. You guys know he didn't want that blood on his hands, man. And that's all that matters. That's all that really matters, man. For real. He don't want that blood on his hands. Oh, you feel the same way, Red? Oh, man. Oh, we got another Cash App. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Hold on. We got Red. Red sent a $3 Cash App. Thank you, Red, for the catnip. I appreciate that. Oh man. But yeah, guys, I don't think President Trump wanted that blood on his hands, and it would have definitely tanked the Republican Party for the midterms for sure. Even though these presidents always lose the midterms, but I don't think he wanted that. He need all the wins right now going into these midterms this upcoming November, man. I'm glad he decided to do the right thing. I'm glad he decided to bluff these guys and whatnot. Yeah, man. Yo, I'm so happy. I just knew he was a good guy, bro. I just knew he was a good guy, man. I ain't gonna even hold you. Yo, facts. So good thing I went live, man. We was able to see in real time that, our president, infamous as he is, he still has a heart, but he got to play that tough guy role. And I understand it. Trust me, I do. I understand it. All right, so we can get back into this offset, guys. Woo. Yeah, let's get back into offset. Offset doing bad out here in these streets.
Breaking news out of Florida that rapper Offset has been shot. We have a X post here coming from TMZ saying breaking Offset shot near Florida casino, and this happening just last night. We're bringing you out now to a live look over that casino, the Seminole Hard Rock Casino over in Hollywood, Florida. Reading from an AP News article here, the rapper Offset was shot Monday and is stable, according to a spokesperson for the Migos rapper, but his exact condition is unknown.
Oh, I've been to that Hard Rock Cafe. That's right outside of Miami. It's close enough to be considered, but it's right outside Miami. I was on tour with Polo Paul last time I was there. I believe it was 2021, summer of 2021. I went in there with $100, left out with $8. I was playing Baccarat. You feel me? Yeah, it's really nice in there. It's clean too. And they usually have all the games playing at the same time. So it's a dope casino.
He is being treated at a hospital and being closely monitored, the spokesperson said in a statement. Now, Offset was formerly married to a Cardi B, with whom he has 3 children. The Seminole Police Department said a person sustained injuries that were not life-threatening Monday evening at a valet area outside of the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. The police department did not identify the victim, and 2 people were detained by police, and officials are investigating the incident, according to a statement from the police department, saying, quote, "The site is secure and there is no threat to the public," according to the police department. Operations continue as normal. Now, Offset's cousin Takeoff, another member of Migos, was shot dead in 2022. The trio, with its rapid-fire triplet flow, became known as one of the most popular hip-hop groups of all time. It broke out with a 2013 hit.
Yeah, I really don't want to hear no white guy break down the Migos. I got another video lined up for y'all. I think it's Poetic Flacco. I like how he break down stuff. So we gonna pivot over to that. We gonna get Poetic Flacco's perspective on this whole debacle with Offset. Let me
take my loan. I'm gonna ask Offset. I'm good on my money.
Let me cue that up.
Offset got shot about an hour ago in the stomach after Offset got.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get that right for y'all. And yo, thanks again for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate the love. Just hit the like button. Subscribe too, please. I'm gonna try to do this consistently. We on a roll to 500 right now. I've been getting a lot of views on my shorts and whatnot. Just support any little content that you can see of mine if it come across your feed. Turn on the notification bells and whatnot. I'm gonna try to get better at my presentations and whatnot. I got to figure out what's going on with this camera. I don't appreciate my $4,000 camera freezing. You know what I mean? I got the lights, the red, white, and blue for the news. You know what I'm saying? I got the lower thirds. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. StreamYard, step up your game, bro. We can't be paying these crazy $400 a year subscriptions for you to be freezing on us. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. But let's get into Poetic Flacco. I like his perspective.
Got shot about an hour ago in the stomach after slapping the living ish out of Lil TJ in Florida. Before we even discuss what took place today, let's rewind a little bit. Why Offset and Lil TJ even got beef, or why there was even an altercation today. So Lil TJ came on social media about this time last year to expose Offset for being in debt and owing him money and not wanting to pay. Lil TJ will call Offset a broke you-know-what and claim nobody should ever borrow Offset money ever again because he's a bum who won't pay it back.
Why this Offset? Offset broke. Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell y'all the stream, too. That broke. Pop. I'll tell y'all a true story. I ain't got nothing to do with that casino. He was popped. He was panicking. He was asking random people for cash apps. He was broke. I don't know what happened. Nobody was answering his phone call. He popped, trying to run up, chasing. Must got a gambling addiction. Yo,
Offset really broke out here? Come on, what's up with the Migos? Ain't no way Migos broke, man. 10 years ago, y'all was on top of the world. Ain't no way y'all broke, bro. That's crazy. If y'all broke, y'all gotta go check with QC, because how y'all broke? Ain't no way. Y'all avoiding taxes. I mean, when you hire these accountants, as far as like taxes, you got to look behind them. You got to hire somebody else for a second opinion to make sure your money is being handled, bro. I'm not going to believe. I can't believe Offset broke. Oh, man.
Oh, he just popped. He called cash after in front of me. I ain't going to lie to you. The first 5 I offered, I'm like, yo, you pop. You waiting for some bread? For my money. I swung that 5. You know how I get. He gets popped. Not us two dicing each other. He gets popped straight to the casino. goes not.
Red, you hell,
You get
boy.
another loan from somebody else for like 2 bands. I don't even take my loan. I'm like, that's offset. I'm good on my money. I'm worried about this. God, mad, bro. I definitely run off for 5 bands. Out of that, he popped for the.
Lil TJ could have had a better approach.
Yeah, I feel you on that, Rose, but I'm like, they live in Atlanta or the surrounding. They live in the Atlanta metro area. Let me say that, right? Bought a house, right? Bought a couple cars, invest the rest, pay your taxes. You feel me? It's like the only person that was signed to QC that was paying their taxes was Lil Baby. Lil Baby say he pay his taxes every quarter. You feel me? How Offset broke? Two of the Migos was in tax trouble. You could blow money, but like put tax money away so you could pay your taxes, bro. Unless somebody one of their accountants was stealing from them. You know what I mean? And we still don't know what happened with that lawsuit with QC. They was like QC owed them some millions. We don't know what happened with that. Like, I don't understand. Offset was just asking Cardi B to pay his tax bill. Let's not forget about that. That's wild. These guys got it. Yeah, yo. I'm there's no way I'm after I touch $1 million, I'm never going broke, bro. I'll be a millionaire still driving a Nissan Altima. I kid you not. I'm gonna have a Porsche at the house, but I'm gonna be a millionaire driving a Nissan Altima and a Pathfinder. You're gonna see me in my black soft pants. Yes, Rose. My black soft pants, right? Designer cut. And I will never go broke after $1 million. And that's not even a lot of money. Dang, I can't believe people be that irresponsible. These guys made hundreds of millions of dollars. What the fuck? He needs to sell all that jewelry. I think that jewelry fake. Lab diamonds don't hold value, right? People are saying lab diamonds don't hold value. And I think once you take the diamond out the metal and all that, the process to get the diamond out the metal is going to create flaws. So those VVS's turn to VS's because all the flaws in it and whatnot. You feel me? He got a gambling. That's the problem. What you gambling on? You want to gamble on the market, right? At least come up a 3% every year. What's 3% of a million? 3% of $1 million. What's that? 30,000. I feel you on that. I think, yeah, they do got a gambling problem. They addicted to fast money. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. Roses, you got fans in the building. You feel me? Cases and Cam says hi. Facts, right? Yeah. Rich was still poor, man. Yeah. Yep. No financial literacy. And that's the thing that they don't have in the schools. Right? I went to my high school was Boys and Girls High School. It was a business school. I had 2 business classes, and my business class teacher was go to school, go to college, get a job. Come to find out, my generation is the generation that went to college and there were no jobs. Right? They didn't teach us how to build credit. Right? When I was 18 years old and I got that American Express gold card sent to my joint, I was so nervous I threw the shit away. I didn't even know if I would have just like put something on auto pay or just bought a magazine subscription and paid that off. I would have had a 800 credit score by 21. I didn't know that. They need to teach that in school, bro. You feel me? Every day, soft pants. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Every day, soft pants. That's right, bro. Fast money. Yeah. I mean, yo, Red. The other day, I was trading with Lucky, and I made $1,800 in a minute on trading options in 1 minute. On what was it? I think the first one was a 15-second, and then I went down to 3-second and started just stacking $100 bets. Boom, 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 boom. You feel me? Segments is on vertical. I don't know. I don't know. Sentiment is on vertical. Let me see. Oh, yes, he is. Yes, sentiment is on vertical. He got the little phone icon by his name. Sentiment, if you're on vertical, come over to the horizontal. You feel me? He's saying hi. Look. He said hi, Roses. Hi, Red. Yeah, okay. Rose went over there. Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
But yo, after a while of you owe me my money, man, I don't feel like I gotta be a gentleman anymore about it, bro. Like, you know you owe me money, but you're ducking me. So TJ wrote Offset and he says, where you at? Where you at? Not gonna lie, I'ma slap the whole ish out of you. Offset responded back, huh? You joking, right? Now, Lil TJ don't even know. And Igaboo love this. Understand what I mean when I say and Igaboo love this. Now, I don't borrow Igga's money for a reason because I know how that turns out. Igga will want to beef with you about the same money he owes you.
I don't know why people say that like that. I don't borrow Igga's money, meaning you lend. You don't lend people money. Yeah, I lend. Yo, guys, I got about over 80 grand lended on the streets, man. It cost me 80 grand to learn not to lend people money no more, bro. Not to lend people money, not to lend people assets, not to lend people time. Because they don't like to pay back. That's something I had to learn the hard way.
Lil TJ don't even know he just gave Offset a way out. Igaboos are already looking not to pay you back. And their path of action not to pay you back, they usually pretend like it's smoke. They usually fake a beef with you. So Lil TJ beat Offset to the punch. Offset was already going to try to fake a beef with Lil TJ so he don't have to pay him back. Lil TJ saying that, or Offset like, today is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it, man. I don't got to pay back that low money because of smoke. Offset told that boy, I'ma smoke you about the money you owe me. You gonna kill me about money you owe me? Nah, I don't borrow Igga's money, man. I don't even deal with Iggas when it comes to things like this, man. Somebody says, Offset says, you barely lived already. Who the F you think you talking to, ninja? You gotta be talking to the wrong ninja. I'm in New York right now. Come smack me, little boy. So Lil TJ was the one who posted this, by the way, and he tagged Offset and he says,
ninjas be ready for the ninja shit, bro. They be ready for that smoke, but not to go hit that ATM to pay that cash back. They don't be ready to send that cash app back.
Offset, yo, pay that tab, homie. Don't fade yourself over a little 10-pack. TJ responded back to Offset and he says, Miami. Offset says, if it's that, stop DMing me for trace reasons. TJ says, nah, never that, little bro. I just want my 10. Offset says, say that. Now, Lil TJ shared this and he says, do not loan Offset.
I don't lend people money who don't have money. You know what? I feel you on that. I think you know what my issue was, sentiment. I would lend them some money so they could get money. They get the money, but don't be wanting to pay back the money. So I let them triple up, double up, then ask for the money back. It's always something. And I had to lose a lot of, I don't want to say friends. I had to lose a lot of associates over money that they couldn't pay back. Girlfriends too. Lend some girlfriends some money. They figured it's because they girls, they ain't got to pay the money back. Pay the money back. I done bought, y'all gonna think I'm simping. I done bought PS4s, iPod touches, paid gymnastic classes, bought new tires, funded people merchandise so they could get manufactured. Done did tons of videos for people, right? And then not only they don't pay the money, they unlist the videos off YouTube, bro. They unlist the videos, act like they did it by themselves. It's a true story, bro. It's just crazy. It's just crazy out here. Word. Okay. I got you. That is weak. It's weak. That's why I be falling back. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know what, Rose? If I believe in someone's vision, I'm the guy that, like, I'm the quote unquote friend that would want to see it through all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to make it as cost efficient as possible, and let's get to the final goal and put in the work. All I ask for is to be compensated for what I put in. Nothing more. Just compensate me back for what I put in. They won't even do that. It'll get rolling, then they don't want to pay back, and then it'll fade into oblivion. And they wonder why it faded into oblivion. Because they don't got genius no more. That's why I faded. Bro. I done started so many clothing lines with people, modeling careers with people, production companies with people, media companies with people. It don't work. And then you know what's the kicker? They'll try to hire your team behind your back. That's what they'll do, Rose. And then be mad when you mad. You feel me? So what I learned through anger management is to let that shit go. I be letting a lot of stuff go. And that's why I always continue to win. Because I let stuff go and let it be. What you say? Yeah, that's facts. That's absolutely facts. The last time I lent a chick some money, I believe it was 2021. I got her 4 new Michelin tires for her Volvo truck. Right? And she never saw it back. I actually got a restraining order put on myself because I was asking for the bread back. It's crazy. Yeah, but see, you know why you do that, Rose? Because you're an adult. Hold on, let me stop sharing this, Flacco. Because you're an adult, Rose. That's the adult thing to do, right? You don't consider yourself a bad B. You feel me? An adult would handle adult situations like an adult. So paying back, like, it's expected from someone like you, Rose. Because you got your life in order. You got your stuff in order. You feel me? It's crazy. Yeah, it is. Right, Red. I had to let it go. That's why if you see me, you'll see me with my guy Mute. You'll see me with Polo Paul, and you'll see me with my wife and kids. That's it. You'll see me with Mute, Polo Paul, my wife and kids. That's it. And my cousins. I got hundreds of cousins, so that don't count. But I'm talking about people who's not family. That's who you see me with. Mute, Polo Paul, my wife and kids. That's it, bro. That's it. Anger management. Yeah. Yeah, anger management was a classic. I'm in the chat. Hold on. Attachment is key. Yes. And not only is it key sentiment, it's peace. You feel me? It's peace. Right? My favorite let go reference is a dude got a rope tied around his hand and he's holding on to it. And the longer he hold on to it, it's cutting into his skin and all that stuff. And then he didn't start to heal until he let it go. You feel me? So that's how I look at it. That's so shady. Yeah. You want to pay what you owe. You feel me? But man, let's get back into Flacco, y'all. Let's get back into Flacco.
No money, he's popped. LOL, just in case. Lil TJ then made an Instagram post where he says, I could never be broke like Offset running off making smoke over lunch money. I'm gonna have to smoke on 100 streams for.
See, let me tell you what little TJ wrong. He went public with it. If it's lunch money, TJ should have let it go. And now TJ ended up popping him, and now he's gonna go to jail over lunch money. You see how that work? It's a destructive cycle. TJ is supposed to let it go. But look, man. Look, I can't even get into that nigga, that nigga shit no more right now, bro. It's triggering right now. I'm having a good time. I got people
from the
watching
Metropolitan
the show.
Detention Center.
I got people watching the show. This one I saw today, guys. I didn't even get to watch this. This story right here. Hold on, let me get it right for y'all. Let me get it right. I've been taking time. I've been doing my lower thirds. Luigi writes PBD a letter from jail. Yeah, that happened. Luigi Mangione wrote me a letter from prison. That's what PBD is saying. So we're gonna get into that because I thought this would be an interesting story to cover on today's show. Let's see what was in this letter. This will be my first time watching this, y'all. So let's see what's up. Oh, I gotta be over here. Click that.
So recently I get a letter from Luigi Mangione. My assistant comes to me and says, you got a letter from Luigi Mangione. I said, which Luigi Mangione? He says, D. Luigi Mangione. I said, D. Luigi Mangione from the Metropolitan Detention Center? Yes. In Brooklyn? Yes. The same place that a lot of these guys, Nicolas Maduro's at right now, by the way, Ghislaine Maxwell, R. Kelly, Diddy, some of these guys? Yes. The guy that got accused of killing Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health? Yes. What's he writing me a letter for? I don't know. Okay. So what do? I open it up and I read through it. And by the way, to tell you how well it was written would be an understatement. This was written as if a kid went to Harvard or Yale. Good writer, sense of humor, sarcasm, witty, even a riddle in there. He even cut a piece out. Like, go figure it out for yourself. Clips, go watch these clips of these philosophers. You can tell he's very intellectual, deep meaning in the way he's writing his stuff, right? And even in there, he talks about, because one day I'm doing a podcast, my phone blows up with a couple hundred messages, Pat. A viral article is going around right now of Luigi Mangione, who turned 27 years old, writing 27 things he's grateful for. And number 7 is you. So number 7, I don't have a connection with him. Yeah, go read it. Number 7, I'm grateful for Patrick Bet-David's book, Your Next 5 Moves. Really? Yes. And he's passing it around in the prison he's at right now. Interesting. How that book made it there? Who knows? But it's there. And then in here, he says, Pat, out of all the 27 things I wrote that I was...
Yo, I just want to side note. I just want to say PBD setups is always fire. Look how the light is separating him from the Titantron screen that he's sitting in front of, right? And then to his immediate right, it's a shelf of hats, which is probably most likely his merchandise. His setups is A1, valuetainment. I love this. I love how this guy, I love his presentation.
Grateful for. The one that I got the most hate mail was number 7, Your Next 5 Moves. A lot of girls who are Gen Z were not happy about that. He says, you have a Gen Z female problem. He says that in the letter. Anyways, he said a lot of other things. So I sat on it and I said, what do I tell this guy? Do I write back? You know, what level of hope does a person have at 27 years old that is accused of killing a CEO of a company, United Healthcare? And we all know the United Healthcare was known for lowest percentage of paying insurance to their clients, or the, payouts that they're giving. So it's not like that.
I remember when Luigi first did it, a lot of people was calling it a necessary evil. I mean, that company was indirectly responsible for the deaths of people and paying the lowest insurance payouts. You know what I mean? So I guess the moral of this story is, excuse me, pardon me, guys. The moral of this story is do the right thing. Do right by people, especially if they abide by the policies of the company.
Had a good reputation, but to go and allegedly kill that CEO? What do you tell a guy like that in the letter? What do you tell him? So I sat there and I thought about it. I remember being in military and how much letters meant to us. Till today, my teacher from my high school, health and guidance teacher, that I met her when I was 14 years old. I'm 47, 33 years old. You know, till today, we write letters to each other. Every 3 months, I get a letter from her. She's got chickens, she's got this, she's got that. But it took me back to when I was in the military, how valuable a response was. So I wrote a letter back to him, and I sent it yesterday with 6 books to him. So I think those other 6 books, he's got time to read. So I sent him the other 6 books to go through as well. The guy's got a sense of humor, even though he knows what he's done. And I have so many questions that I wrote on the letter to him. But made me think about something else. How does this apply to you and I? Okay.
I just think it's wild that Luigi is your pen pal. Shout out to him for sending him 6 books, though. Them books is like gold when you locked up, bro. You be needing to get your mind out of there.
You and I, directly and indirectly. I was a kid back in the days that, you know, I listened to a lot of Tupac. I listened to a lot of Hit 'Em Up. I probably listened to Hit 'Em Up, I don't know, 500 times. That was my workout song. I listened to Eazy-E, Real Mother, you know what, G's. I listened to RBL Posse. I listened to Rappin' Forte and, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony and DMX and all these guys. I hung out with guys that were, you know, troubled kids. And, you know, I was part of a basketball league that was with Blood and Crip and Black Diamonds and 18th Street and Toonerville and all these guys, TVR. I was in that community trying to figure myself out at 14 years old. Parents got a divorce. Life was a little bit interesting. And I went into the military. And so I thought about myself. Luckily, when I was in those moments of being impressionable and vulnerable, the right people were in my ear. And so it got me to go back and think about a guy I interviewed who was an FBI criminal profiler. This guy would talk to you.
Yo, Rose, that's dope. That's dope. That's keeping him motivated to do his time. You feel me? A lot of people behind the wall, they be forgotten, and they just, I don't know, they just go into this violent spiral. You know, they start to put on weight, they don't work out, they stop reading their books, ain't no money on the books. That money on the books is what keep him functioning. That's the closest thing to he got that keeps him functioning as if he was outside, because he get to go to the store, he get to pay for a haircut, you know, he get to buy his hygiene products and whatnot. So that's real dope. That's real dope, bros.
Right after a person killed their wife, he was the first person that interviewed the husband that's accused of killing his wife. Vice versa. Wife accused of killing the husband, he's interviewing the wife to see what happened. What got you to the point of killing your wife? What was it? Was it cheating? Did he hit you? Did he remind you? Did she do this? What gets you to a point of killing? And we all read or see these movies or the stories we go through, right? What got you there? And I said, Jim, what makes somebody do this? This is Pat, 22 years of doing this. You know, it comes down to 3 things. I said, what is it? He said, genetics loads the gun. Genetics, mom and dad, loads the gun. He says, your personality aims the gun. But he said, life experiences pulls the trigger. So, life experiences. This guy had back issues. He had certain health problems. His grandpa was a very successful businessman, made a lot of money. He had the trajectory of, he was a valedictorian. This is not a regular kid. He was a valedictorian. Could have been a net positive to society, working, building a business, creating jobs, maybe getting involved in politics, doing something positive for the world. He had that brain to do it. He had the genetics to do it. But those life experiences, the 90 days that he went on his own and mother couldn't find him. And eventually around November of 2024, I believe, mom reported that, I think my son is missing. And then December 4th is the day he's accused of killing Brian Thompson. We've all seen the videos and the day they caught him. So what happened during those 90 days? You know, one of the movies I hate the most, when I tell you, I don't hate a lot of movies. I hate this movie. You know what's the movie I hate the most? Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Absolutely hate the movie Joker. You know why? At 43 minutes, I don't know what the timeline was. I'm sitting with my wife. We went with about 20 of us. And the story is the guy ends up killing the capitalist, the wealthy guy. And he's a hero. Look at this guy. Wow. You know, take out these rich. And I said, what kind of a freaking movie is this? How many kids is going to watch this and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to be a hero. Let me go take out somebody in power. That could have been him. Luigi Mangione could have watched Joker while he's away with somebody else and somebody's in his ear. You know what? Look what they're doing and what happened with you with insurance. And this is not fair. And and all of a sudden you're like, I am right and the system is wrong. And when you get to that point, that's a very dangerous place to be because you're almost giving yourself permission to justify doing something crazy like.
The Joker was a little bit deeper, a lot deeper than just killing the rich guy. It was, I don't want to get into the philosophy of it, but it was a lot deeper than that. That was an action that happened in that movie, but it was more so about the cruelty of the world. And when you had enough cruelty, you become cruel yourself. In a nutshell.
This. Pat, I still don't get it. How does this apply to me? Do you have kids? Do you have a son? Do you have a daughter? Do you have a nephew? Do you have a cousin? Are you 17 years old watching this? You're
what you say, Rose? Yeah, I think it described. I share that sentiment. You know, I share that sentiment with you, Rose. Yeah, it described the cruelty in the world when people reach their boiling point. Right? If you watch Joker, he was treated cruelty. He just was a guy who would go to work, stay into routine, and he lived a lot in his head because that's where he found peace. But like, when you had enough cruelty, when you tired of being the butt of everyone's joke, you getting robbed and all this other stuff, harassed on the train and all this other stuff, you defend yourself, and then now you're in trouble. But where was the punishment and repercussions for those people who pushed you to that? I know everybody's responsible for their own actions, but like, people are cruel. And it's only a matter of time before these cruel people meet someone who's even more cruel that will do something a little bit devastating to their lives. You feel me? Yeah, it was a dope film, but you know, he I guess to make this video, he's sticking to one point where he killed the rich guy, but that's not what the movie was about, Pete. That's not what the movie was about. The movie was about someone having enough. And then if you watch the second one, you come to find out he wasn't even the real Joker. Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry about that if you haven't seen it. Yes, that's the main plot to the story. Society can create monsters because we deal with so much cruelty in our everyday lives. And then you reach a point to where you had enough. You don't want to be the pushover anymore. You don't want to be somebody's bitch on the subway, at work, on the road. That's why you should always do your best to be kind to people. And if that person is not receiving that kindness, remove yourself. Sometimes the best thing to do is not engage in someone's dysfunction. Just remove yourself. Get in your car and go. Continue walking right past. Clock out. It's only going to cost you a couple bucks. Feel me? Yeah, it is a bunch of a musical. It stray away from the original, but if you do decide to watch it, focus on Lady Gaga's character, Harley Quinn character, right? Focus on her character and then focus on the dynamic of her attraction to him. Because we already know Joker loves any attention from a girl that he gets, any attention from women that he gets. But focus on what attracts her to him and then focus on his character growth, and then watch it all play out. Yeah, it's an insane twist, and I don't even think they're going to make a third one because that movie wasn't well received. Hey Rose, did you get a chance to watch Weapons? Let me know if you watched Weapons. That's your homework this week. Weapons.
Impressionable. When you're at the lowest in life, and we will be, many times we will be. I got 4 kids. Many times we will be. When you're at the lowest, dude, you better guard who you listen to and what you watch and what you read. I don't care if you're 14. I don't care if you're 44. I don't care if you're 64. This is our entire life. This thing's not easy. This thing's tough. But we are also the luckiest people alive to witness what we have today. And as tough as life is, it isn't as tough as it was 200 years ago or 800 years ago or 1,200 years ago. It's a lot easier today than it was back in the days. Lifestyle is a lot better today. AC wasn't around 140.
My boy Nino. Nino, what's good, my boy? Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate that a lot, bro. I really appreciate that. Nino's in the building. Yes. Weapons. You see, look, you got a cosign from Nino right there. Nino Nation. And you know he liked the scary movies with his whole art going on. The clown, the clown. Look, yeah, it's a good movie. Telling you. Yes. Have some snacks and watch it. Yeah, Nino. Look, see, Nino. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great movie. Okay. Let's get through this because I think I'm gonna wrap it up after this. I don't want to go past an hour and a half too long.
350 years ago, you're probably in an AC place right now watching this video. Probably have access to food. You probably get access to the greatest computer in the world. You probably are watching this on it. We are so lucky. Think about the perspective. And when I was writing the letter, I'm like, this could have been a friend of mine. I lost a friend when I was younger. Till today, I think about him all the time. This is someone's friend. This is someone's son. This is someone's cousin. This is someone's grandson. Someone got to him at 25, 26 years old that made him believe this is the right thing to do. What was the third one? Experiences does what? Pulls the trigger. I don't know. So, what I would take from the message if I'm you is, I promise you, this either made you think about you or it made you think about somebody else. Whatever you could do, make a list of 2 or 3 different people right now and just send them an audio message and lift them up. Lift them up. Just send a message and say, hey, I just want to let you know, I believe in you. It's all going to be fine. Share scripture with them. Encouraging message. Something that could lift them up. You would be amazed how many times we just need a message like, wait, where did this come? Don't even tell them what inspired you want to send this to them. Just tell them. Tell her. You would be amazed.
That's true sentiment.
How much of an impact you can have on 3 people today. That's it. So imagine if 1 million of us do this. We positively impacted 3 million people today.
Yeah, it looked like his closing statement was to just be kind to people. And that's a practice we all got to practice. If someone's not receiving your kindness, remove yourself. That's it. We all need to start practicing being kind to each other, bro. Because sometimes that's all we need, a little kindness, a little compliment. You might think the person's not attractive, but compliment their outfit or something. Compliment the color. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Right now, guys, I'm gonna be in the back. Looking for some breaking news on Trump. See if I can find another video with this ceasefire. Seeing see what other news is going on with that ceasefire. It looks like they still promoting his statement on a whole civilization would die. Let's see what's up. Yeah, what's that? Major announcement about Iran ahead of deadline. Okay, let's see what Fox News is doing. It look like Fox News.
We're just getting some breaking news here about the.
Hold on, yeah. We're gonna circle back to Trump right before we end it, guys. I'm just happy that he was able to do the ceasefire. Let's see what Fox News talking about right here.
We're just getting some breaking news here about the war. The president has just issued a truth social from the White House saying this: based on conversations with Prime Minister Sharif and Field Marshal Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran, agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Again, just seconds ago, before the deadline.
Before he continue, I think this is a great opportunity for Iran and the United States to really focus on being peaceful with each other. Iran, you need to stop the threats. Y'all need to surrender your nuclear weapons, your uranium and all that, so we could just continue to get this oil. You continue to get your money. We continue. Everybody life be better. Everybody life would be better. You know what I'm saying? This is a great opportunity we could have to just focus on peace. You know what I'm saying? I hope you see through this whole bravado, understand that President Trump does have a heart. Even though he got to play the tough guy role, I get it. That's his whole archetype. He's the rich, big, tough guy. You're fired, right? He's the apprentice, right? You know what I'm saying? So we got to just focus on peace and moving forward for all humans, no matter the background.
For attacks on Iran tonight, and it seems like a deal is in the making. There had been talk, Mark, all day long about maybe this was happening. How do you see this, and how does it play politically here at home?
Well, I think the president had to do it if he could get terms that include an unconditional opening of the strait, which
because
it sounds
the
like he's
markets
gotten.
had to look at that and say
he has to do it because, look, people are, in my latest poll, 51% support the war, 54% said it was justified, but 57% said if he could get a good deal, he should take it. So I think it's a risky 2-week period because it enables them to regroup. But on the other hand, the president, if he thinks he has a real opportunity to come out with a negotiated victory, then I think he had to do it.
A lot of people got, really energized about some of the things he posted about, annihilation, civilization. But now he's coming with this deal, Kellyanne. How do you see this big
It's
picture?
the 11th straight year of them in high dungeon about everything he writes and says. He said he doesn't care about his critics, but he does care about getting peace and a just cause here. He does care about oil flowing again. If he gets a deal, the ultimate deal maker, part of how he wins these elections, Brett, then that will matter to people. There's one group that he's not mentioning at all. They're called Europe and NATO. It's really fascinating what's happened there in a short amount of time. You even have Vladimir Zelensky running around in these Gulf state countries saying, I'm not getting weapons, I'm giving them to you and giving you our intelligence for the last couple of years in this war with Russia. It's really fascinating what's happened there in short order. NATO's coming to the White House tomorrow. I think Mark Rutte, the Secretary General himself, has forged a good relationship with Trump, but the NATO countries have not. And he's not even mentioning them as part of this deal. This is all about the countries around Iran. Look, this is what we expect from presidents. You're not going to get a good deal unless you pressure and they think that you're serious. And the same country that sent 155 aircraft in to rescue one of our airmen, if not two, just this past weekend, is a country that is going to do what it takes to keep everyone safe and to push back on the largest state sponsor of terror, but also to tell the people who are relying on the Strait of Hormuz, like Europe, for its energy. We need you to help as well.
We just did this breakdown of how much flows through that strait. It's remarkable. Our oil does not as much, but fertilizer does. It's a big part of the world economy.
Well, it's a big part of the world economy, but the U.S. could sustain a six.
Hold on. What was that? I need to get a bigger monitor. I don't know if you heard, but Iranian leader said he wanted all American infrastructure out of the neighboring Arab countries abetting that. I don't think that's going to happen. That's a great want, but you can't be losing and making. You can't. The loser don't get to dictate the terms. That'd be nice, but we're not going to do that. We're America, world police. We're not going to do that. I would be thankful he didn't bomb your civilian infrastructure, and I would be thankful that it's also Americans that's getting on these public platforms talking about him not bombing, celebrating him not bombing their civilian infrastructure. And that's a win. That's a win towards peace right there. So telling us to get out the surrounding Arabian Sea area, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You're not in a position to make demands. Military infrastructure. Well, when you say infrastructure, you mean like the military bases, our American bases that we have? No way. No way, because I'm going to tell you why that's not a good idea. If we remove our bases from the area, we won't be able to see what they're doing, right? We won't be able to get the intel on what they're doing, right? Obviously, they have access to uranium, right? We get out of there, they start pumping up their nuclear program again. So wow, that just wouldn't be smart. And I don't even think we're going to entertain a demand like that. That's a ridiculous ask on their part. Sentiment. That's a ridiculous ask on their part. There's no way we're getting out of the Arabian area. I'm sorry. Qatar, F with us. Every country that we got a base in, mess with us. There's no way we're getting out. See? The people in Saudi are revolting against the king of BSM. Ooh. How are you getting this information, bro? I gotta make you a mod. Hold on. I gotta get you. I gotta make you a mod so you could drop links. Hold on. Let me give you the power. Hold on. Don't put the link in yet. Let me make you a mod first, bro. And then let me get you up in here. Let me get them links. I got a mod up Nino too. Nino, my guy. I like Nino is so cool and calm and collective. Nino is cool. Hold on. Mod up Nino. Let me see. Not place on timeout. Hold on. I think I gotta click the name. Channel activity. Yeah, I gotta give him the Nino got the power. All right. And let me see. Sentiment got the power. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, sentiment. Yo, drop that link to that article or video that you're talking about right now. I could do a separate review video because I need to start pumping out some pre-records as well. You know what I'm saying? I have a friend. Hold on, let me pull it up so I can read it better. I have a friend whose sister is living in Qatar and listening to multiple global news sources. Oh, okay. 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 Now, so you know what? I'm gonna finish this video real quick, and I'm gonna look that up. I might
Your
be streaming for a
90-day
little bit longer, guys.
war, because there's about 20 million barrels a day that we consume. $50 extra, it's about $1 billion a day, a small amount relative in a $30 trillion economy. So we could have withstood it, but on the other hand, I think the markets are going to react very well. And I think remember that scene from Patton, where Patton goes crazy, and his aide says, you know, the men don't know when you're kidding or when you're not. And Patton says, it's not important for them to know, it's important for me to know.
Yeah.
So I think we see that today, that the president was tough. He put pressure on Iran, and it looks like they're caving.
So just to reiterate, for viewers who may just be tuning in, the president has just put out a Truth Social saying that there is a deal in the works with Iran, a 10-point plan, negotiating a settlement that includes the immediate opening of the Strait of Hormuz. We don't know what the other 10 points include, but if it matches previous negotiations, that includes nuclear material. It includes a missile program that would not continue. And we don't know what it means for the neighbors, but this has to be a real breath of sigh of relief
It certainly
for
is,
Gulf
and I
Arab
think that-
allies,
that's
especially.
right. And the president said this will be a 4 to 6 week war. We're still within that zone. He also last week reminded us all, Brett, Vietnam 19 years, Iraq War 7 or 8, World War II and Korea 3 years apiece. 4 to 6 weeks. I know we're an impatient country with pace of change and pace of conclusion these days, but he can claim victory. And I think the negotiated 10-point settlement, whatever it ends up looking like, this is news, as you say, starting with the Strait of Hormuz just shows everybody is serious here. And I think that this will be part of his security and affordability agenda in ways that are very important.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows.
There you go. Hey, it's fine. Hold on, I got you, Rose. I got you. Hold on, I got you. Hold on. This for you, Rose. Hold on. Where's that? All right, hold on. It looked like she was getting busy before the camera started rolling. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Oh man, but I want to look up this Saudi stuff that Sentiment was talking about. Sorry. That shit ain't make it to American news yet. Let me see. Let me type in these specific countries that he's in. Let's see. Yo, Sentiment, it'll be really helpful if she can if you can tell me what's the name of the station. All these videos is from 3 years ago. Iran struck the world's largest factories in Saudi Arabia 16 hours ago. 9 months, 6 years ago. Saudi is doomed. Yeah, all this is from months ago. And I think it's a guy right now covering, he got 3K people watching. Hold on. What's this?
Doesn't sound like a free flow of commerce. Thank you. I agree with that statement. Feeling when they made that announcement, because if we go back and we look at what Trump said and we look at his statement, right? Complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran's statement is not that. It's limited. And it's going to be based on the IRGC's capability to screen ships, the same crap that they've been doing. They're just saying, well, hey, you got to understand that we've got our limitations. Iran is holding the Strait of Hormuz hostage because they're willing to fire at civilian vessels. And I feel like I am on like the scene of a like idiocracy where we find ourselves negotiating with a terrorist nation. That's the media.
Hold on, guys. This guy, I don't even know who this is. He was just happening live. He just happened to be live when I was searching for that Saudi revolt that Sentiment was talking about. But right now, he's saying that Iran is still holding the Strait of Hormuz.
Only reason the strait is quote unquote closed isn't because of Iran. It's because of insurance companies, because Iran continues to attack commercial vessels. Iran effectively saying, well, you're going to have to wait a little bit because we're going to be busy. Coordination with Iran's armed forces and with due consideration of technical limitations. What technical limitations does Iran have to allow boats to sail through international waters? They don't have any. And I got a feeling they got a phone call the moment they end up coming out with this statement. And that's when we saw a bunch of ballistic missiles get freaking launched all over the place. That's what I think. Jonathan White, Boxer, ARG, and CSG 10 still heading for the AO. This is definitely calm before the storm. I still think we're going to bomb the crap out of them. Not that we haven't been bombing the crap out of them.
Nah, I can't. Nah, y'all, nah. Nah, yo. I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about still bombing them. Nah, we don't need to bomb the crap out of innocent people, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. Let me see. A ceasefire. DeVory be having a lot of ads on his joint. But nah, yo, that's my show for today. I'm a little under 2 hours. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna be sure to keep hitting y'all with this content and make sure everything's all copacetic and whatnot. Thanks for my super chats, Rose and Red, Cases and Cams. Thanks for tuning in. Bapworks, thanks. Sentiment, thanks. Rose saved the day with that ceasefire information. Nino, shout out to you. Thanks for pulling up. Who else we got up in here? Chat wasn't really that active today. Yeah, so thanks for everybody that tuned in, man. Thanks for the people watching. I see the 20 of y'all watching. Y'all probably on the vertical. Come over to the horizontal. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming vertical for too much. I think vertical will be making my camera act up and whatnot. Let me get this banner. Let me get this overlay out of here, because that's not the name of the show. That's the name of the show. But hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. Are you looking? Or I'll stay live if you looking, bro. If you looking, yeah. All right. Hold on, guys. I'm not out of here yet. Sentiment is looking. He got the power. I gave him the wrench. Let's see how this goes, man. I need to watch hours anyway. Man. Trying to get monetized, man. Tell a friend, share the video with a friend. Like the video, turn on your notifications. I will not be spamming you. Also drop some shorts with AI. I was wondering why business slowed down for me. AI is kind of doing all the things. AI is doing all the things. They got Oculus. They got the StreamYard software that's doing it. I was like, okay, let me take advantage of this. I started using it for myself. You know what I mean? But how y'all doing today, man? What y'all did today, man? My wife made me some rice and what's that? Chicken thighs, chicken legs. I got the whole leg. I got the thigh and the drum. I already drunk my Coke. That means I'm gonna have to drink water with my dinner. I was eating dinner before I went live, but I wanted to be on time, so I didn't finish my plate. It's sitting in the microwave for me right now. I'm waiting to see what Sentiment could find so we can continue covering this Iran ceasefire situation. I don't want the white T man's hate on my screen. So in the meantime, while sentiment do that, let's watch this one right here.
President Donald Trump escalated tensions by making a sweeping threat against Iran. But tonight, the president has agreed to suspend bombing.
The president now pulling back on his threats for 2 weeks, as long as Iran agrees to a ceasefire by opening the vital Strait of Hormuz. Earlier today, threatening that, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, end quote, if Iran did not meet the deadline. KTLA's Lindsay Pena with the latest from the newsroom. Lindsay.
Micah, Sandy, this major announcement coming just hours before his deadline that he will delay attacks on Iranian energy infrastructure and transportation hubs like bridges for 2 weeks. The president posting on.
Side note, I think women, when they wear zebra print, looks good. Zebra print on women looks good. Zebra print, cheetah print, not jaguar print. Cheetah print looks good. Tiger print too. But it has to be done right.
Truth Social. Let's take a look at that post. It reads in part, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. And just hours ago, the Prime Minister of Pakistan proposed the 2-week delay. The White House confirming Trump was considering it. Now Trump confirming his administration received a 10-point proposal from Iran, and nearly all of their points of contention have been met, and that the 2 weeks will allow for further negotiation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was asked by reporters when welcoming New Zealand's foreign minister in Washington about the impact caused by the war in Iran and the closing of the Strait of Hormuz by the Iranian regime.
Yeah, the whole world's been impacted, unfortunately, because Iran is violating every law known by striking commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. And it's a big problem for the world. I mean, this is a regime that doesn't believe in laws, rules, or anything like that. It's a state sponsor of terrorism. So it's not surprising that they're now conducting terrorist activity against commercial vessels. So.
Israel has also agreed talks that would possibly include Vice President J.D. Vance. Also, Iran saying there will be safe passage for vessels through the Strait of Hormuz via coordination with Iran's military. Again, we'll have more on the ceasefire in Iran and potential deal to end the war coming up next hour.
Fox.
Nothing new yet. Nothing new yet. Wait and see if my boy Sentiment will hit me with that information. I might just do another hour. I don't know. He got 7 minutes. I'm gonna see what's out there. I'm not trying to stay too late because I know there's some other streaming shows I want to watch. I will go. Yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. You know, forget about it. I'll do another show on it. I might go live tomorrow. I don't know if y'all tune in. I might do a morning show tomorrow, depending on, what time. My morning show, I wanted it to focus on New York. Well, not really New York, East Coast. I was going to do the weather and the traffic and stuff like that, stuff like that. I got this, I got access to the traffic cameras and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning into the Late Show with CEO, even though I know it's early. I'll see you guys later, man.